The United States House of Representatives passed legislation that hopes to reduce flooding in the area. KHQA's Hayden Donaldson has more on the Upper Mississippi Levee Safety Act. Hayden.
Over the past 30 years, the area has seen several massive floods flow through. The largest of those floods was the Great Flood of 1993, which caused billions of dollars in damage and nearly 50 fatalities. After this happened, the region continued to experience flooding in 2008 and 2019 with no plan in place to cover this. Over the past 30 years, the area has seen several massive floods flow through. The largest of those floods was the Great Flood of 1993, which caused billions of dollars in damage and nearly 50 fatalities. After this happened, the region continued to experience flooding in 2008 and 2019 with no plan in place to cover this. All right. Upper Mississippi River, Illinois, and Missouri River Association Chair Mike Klingner says this sparked them for change.
Unlike the lower 5 states, from Carroll south to New Orleans, they have a plan in place that protects, the land and the cities to a pretty good level of protection. We don't have that in the Upper Mississippi, and we saw the disaster we had in '93 and 2008 and then 2019, and had high water again this spring.
And with the help from legislators, their plan became a possibility. The group formed the Upper Mississippi Levee Safety Act, which was presented in September 2023. The act would require the United States Army Corps of Engineers to update levee and flood wall designs along the Upper Mississippi River every 20 years. Klingner says after approval with the U.S. House of Representatives, along with support from legislators such as Mary Miller and Darren LaHood, they can start the long-term process.
We do have a positive step forward, and to start the long-range planning was probably going to be another 10 or 15 years to get everything through, was to look at how do you convey a major flood like the 93 through the valley with minimal property damage and hopefully no loss of life.
The total cost of the act is currently undisclosed right now, but the responsibility to pay for it would be divided into 75% federal and 25% state. The act would also save FEMA significant funds by reducing damage from flooding. Quincy has seen some minor improvements in regards to flooding, such as raising the docks on the river to continue to operate during high water. Klingner says with heavy rains coming up in the area, it is more important than ever for this legislation to be enacted.
Long term, with this Safety Act, let's look at the big picture and see if we can do some other types of improvements to a greater level of protection where we need it.
With the act going through the House, it will now go through the United States Senate. Reporting for KHQA, I'm Hayden Donaldson.